Welcome to Security with Spirits, an Oak Barrel security podcast. I'm Jason.
This is Ben.
Jonathan.
And Tony. We'll tell you what to drink while we tell you why we drink.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. So today, my drinks come with a little bit of adventure. I had some friends invite us out to a Renaissance fair, and I've never been to a Renaissance fair, and I was very excited to go, and I'm very glad I went. It was a lot of fun. They had like all sorts of, axe throwing and jousting and, of course, booze. So I had to pick up from Lost Viking Distillery. They had a booth set up and they were selling some mead, and I was between two of them, and one of them was, it's called Beekeeper's Cask, and it was a honey spirit, or Krupnik, and I hope I'm saying that right, Krupnik, and it was a honey liqueur. So I'm like, I told the guy, I was like, I'm actually between both of these, and he goes, he said, well, it's like, are you into old fashions? I was like, I am. And he mixed the two together and handed it to me, and it's an old fashioned. It's amazing.
No way.
Whoa.
Really, really good. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's really good. So keysmeads.com is the place. And that's keysmeads.com. We're not sponsored, but I thought I'd give them a shout. It's really, really good, really delicious. And Renaissance Fair was a lot of fun. So, Ben, what are you drinking?
Oh, I'm back on Glen Kinchy. I've got it on the rocks. It's good as it can be. It's been a while since we were talking about our drinks, and so I broke out the bottle to try to finish out these classic malts. Yeah. So at this Renaissance Fair, did you do any of the sword fighting or anything like that, or just walk around drinking?
Yeah, just walk around drinking. So they had a few sites set up with sword fighting, but it mostly kids were there, and I didn't want to feel ridiculous, so I didn't do it. But apparently it's a thing. Like it sticks around here for a while, and then there's another one in Orlando. So yeah, I'm gonna go check out more of them. It was fun. We actually, the wife and I had, we were gonna dress up for pirates for Halloween. I ended up getting sick, so we couldn't do our Halloween stuff. So we're like, well, we're gonna be pirates at the Renaissance Fair, and just didn't end up doing it. So she actually had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction, and I was like, well, forget it. I'm not even gonna, because I would feel embarrassed anyway, so I'm not doing it. And then whenever I got there, I was like, oh, I totally wish I would have wore the outfit, because yeah, there were pirates all over the place. So, but yeah, a lot of fun.
Nice. What are you drinking, Jonathan?
Well, it's actually about 23 degrees outside right now. We've had a nice cold chill come in, and I made some hot apple cider, and I've put some Callahan's bourbon in it. So just a nice, warm, refreshing drink. Tony, what do you have?
Well, you son of a gun, you copied me. It's cold here. I've got warm apple cider with a good, healthy glug of Tennessee Hills ginger whiskey in it. And that is a tasty beverage there.
Nice. I made some mulled wine for Thanksgiving, and it went by really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have to double the recipe next time.
So you shared, or you did?
Well, I was about 4 cups in by 10 in the morning.
Well, you gotta taste it.
Yeah.
And so, and when everyone got there, it went pretty quick.
Guys, this is the best Halloween ever. Ben's Thanksgiving.
I'm looking at these meads for sale, and they ship, and I'm about to go broke.
Now, which
Oh my
two did he
gosh.
mix?
So the ones that, let's see, I'm trying to scroll through and find it. Let me just go back to the picture. So it's the Krupnik and the Beekeeper's Cask.
I've not seen either one of those on here, I think.
I'm still scrolling and I haven't seen any of them. No, they're not on there.
That's probably like their brand new stuff and it's not on their website.
Probably, yeah.
Tony, let me know if you're going to order. That way I don't have to pay shipping.
They have an espresso flavored mead.
Oh, nice.
That's 24% alcohol. I'm never drinking regular coffee again.
Not what plants need.
Yeah, the guy who was next to me was completely faced, and I was like, I asked I was like, has he been here for a while? And he's like, no, he showed up drunk. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
All right, so let's talk about some current news, or at least it's current by at the time of recording. So these two are somewhat related, not at all funny, but apparently Google Drive lost some files. So if you don't like Google Drive, you don't trust Google Drive, you can go make your own with the open source software OwnCloud, but they've been compromised, so they're renaming theirs to PoneCloud, and that's a terrible joke. And yeah, apparently it's like a CVSS score of like 10. It's a nasty one. Exposes credentials, server info, all that kind of stuff. So I guess either way you're losing files. So back stuff up.
To someone else's cloud for now.
Yeah. So
What you need is redundant cloud services.
there you go. Wait.
The low price.
Yeah, so our cloud service is only $7 a month for a terabyte. $20 a month if you want to keep those files around. Yeah, so I don't know what you guys use for, like, or if you even use any cloud storage. I've got kind of a hybrid. I do some storage locally, just like for the home lab and stuff like that, but I don't have any of that exposed to the internet, nor would I want to. I use Google Drive for some of the things, some, like, of course, Apple, their iCloud for some other things. So
yeah, you gotta diversify your cloud storage.
Yeah.
Determine what you need on which platforms. You get the most out of those free introductory storage limits they give you.
I'm not paying for the amount of storage I need. I'll take 14 free services and scatter them amongst them.
Yeah, exactly.
That is still doing backups to 5 million AOL floppy disks.
Free discs.
No, man, I still got my zip drive. I can still remember the ka-chunk whenever you put the drive in. Oh.
That was a very satisfying drive. I would take a zip drive back for sure.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
If it had more storage, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a chunky medium.
Yeah. And they like modeled it like you had like the what was it, the 3 1/4 disc, and then the zip drive looked like it, but it looked like it was that on steroids.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
It was made for us with sausage fingers. It's the play school to Legos.
What was the other one? The Ditto or something like that? They tried to do another one and it just didn't go over.
I'm trying to remember. In my early tenure in college, that it was before Flash media really took off, like USB storage and stuff, and they provided zip disks for everything. Like I did my entire programming courses on zip disks. Yeah, those were the days. Because they didn't do anything because the computer lab they had to let you have access to your zip disks, and they didn't have any way of like really controlling what was on those, so you could like, hey, I'll bring in StarCraft and put it off my zip disk.
Man, like back when you could just play a game and not have to install it. It's not. I forget the last game I played on the computer, and it was like, requires 60 terabytes of hard drive space. I'm like, what? Oh, now I'm sounding really old. But anyways, and all of this, no matter if you're using Zip Disk or Google Drive or OwnCloud or whatever, secure your stuff, and back up your stuff.
Or don't, and just take a more of a Buddhist approach and just really have no attachment to any particular files.
Ooh, I like that. Practice minimalism with your files. If you don't
Does this spark joy?
And that's the last time I went to work. Oh man, that's quite a segue to our main speaking topic, and we borrowed this a little bit from the internet, but the question was raised: cybersecurity, is it an unsinkable career in this fragile market that we're going into? You see, like all the news of the layoffs, and oh, you know what? That's actually one of the speaking topics we could have had is the Broadcom buying out VMware that finally went through. So
and they axed a bunch of people.
Oh yeah. So
some of it's like how bloated was VMware, and how much of it is just typical hack and slash returns kind of thing.
Was it bloated, or did they have a good support team there? A good group doing R&D.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. Oh, we'll start finding out.
When everything starts getting buggier, you'll know.
I've already heard some reports of some of the flings, which it's the marketplace for stuff that's not quite VMware product worthy. It's not something they can box or sell, but it's something that they highly recommend. It's stuff that people have done on their own. And I've heard reports of some of those being shut down. And yeah.
What drives innovation?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're a cybersecurity person, is your job safe?
Apparently not if you get bought by a bigger company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a scary prospect. Like if your career, so you're early in it, and that's what you focused on, and you may not have the broad range of skills that they might value to survive a upheaval like that.
I think there's always gonna be something out there. It may not be pleasant, it may not be ideal. Ideal would be, just to, if you like your job, you want to keep your job, keep at it. But if you do get impacted, I mean, you may have to travel, you may have to move. That's not always fun. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff that comes with it, but I think there's always going to be a place for somebody, no matter where they are in there, and not just cybersecurity, but any skill set. It's just having to balance that out with some of the negatives. So, you may not want to live in Alaska, but maybe
Alaska needs cybersecurity too.
Yeah.
Yep. And there's always going to be data retention requirements, compliance, whatever the government's dictating out. I mean, that's always going to be happening. So that's always going to, I think that's going to be a reason for people or companies to maintain positions. It sounds bad, but it's almost a check the box.
Yeah.
On the other side of that, I mean, as long as there is a financial incentive to attack people, there will be a need for defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you take to your job with enthusiasm and dedication and such, you'll land on your feet. Finding good people to do the work is what hirers are looking for. So
I think I think you kind of hit on something there, Ben. That's one of the things is if you have when there's time to make those tough decisions, like for any company or whatever, if you look at an employee and maybe like they're both hired at the same time, they're both doing the same job, they're both doing their skill sets all there. One employee is just a bear to work with, and the other one is pleasant, and they both get their work done, but unfortunately I think attitude comes into play. I think that's so that's another thing that to
plays
watch
well
out
with
for.
others.
Yes. Yep.
Well, I mean, lean times in any industry kind of shake out the people that are only opportunistic, right?
Yeah.
The people that were only chasing a paycheck instead of really passionate about the career.
Yeah, good point. And maybe that's a reflecting time. Once you're once you got a few weeks
Does
of
this spark
unemployment.
joy?
But to go back and answer the question, like, is it an unsinkable career? No.
Nothing is. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right, Tony. There's nothing out there that I can think of that anybody can be impacted. It's just how it works.
Keep your resume updated. There's a good lesson. All times.
Always be growing in your skill set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep track of what you do. Make sure you know what you have experience with and what you could talk about.
Yeah.
And what you're interested in.
And always have some side incomes. So, sell feet pics and stuff.
You're going to inflate the market. Hush.
So that kind of leads into another talking point is what about, and again, we borrowed from some other questions that were out there, but what, you see a lot of practices, and I know we've talked about it before, a lot of vendors are trying to sell their products and their wares and all that kind of stuff by using scare tactics, using other like devious forms to try to get a foothold in the marketplace. So is that damaging the cybersecurity career, or maybe not career, but the field?
It does paint a dirty picture a little bit.
A lot of it is like selling the product, saying it'll take care of this, but it doesn't necessarily sell the partnership or you don't just get peace of mind from buying a product and having it implemented, right? You gotta make sure you gotta have people that are supporting it, people that know what areas of weakness you have, and so that becomes it kind of ties into a little bit to the previous thing we were talking about with sinkable career kind of thing. Like, if you buy a product to defend a certain aspect of your network, but none of your people know where your risks are, that'd be a good place for someone who has that career and that flexibility to be.
I'm glad you caught that, because I was just thinking about that. I was like, well, we can look at the question we had earlier about cybersecurity careers. Well, it's the same for vendors, because now whenever you're looking to cut cost, you're going to look at the vendors and you're going to be like, well, this vendor didn't come to the table. This, do we really need them? So, I mean, that could be another thing. Be like, well, the product's good, but it's not well supported. I bet we can find something else, or there are different things. But yeah, that's a good point too. Is it's not just the people that are kind of judged on their support and like cheeriness. Ugh. Um,
Yeah, if you don't have if you have installed like a next generation firewall, but don't use any of the next generation features, how much better off are you? You know,
yeah.
or yeah, you know, this is probably a little dated answer or idea, but you had somebody set up VPNs, you know, who just searched the web or whatever, and you know, you find out, oh, we have a VPN that has access to this whole network that was using like triple DIS, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, having people who understand the concepts and the technologies present and aren't just following a manual in the cybersecurity world, even if you, even if it does fall into more of the networking or server setup or whatever, having people that understand those concepts.
Yeah, and we've discussed it a little bit before the show at the pre-gaming party. And I know we've spoken about it on the podcast before, but having a little bit of diversity in your skill set and not just being like one of those people who are like, I'm 100% red team and that's all I know, and I'm not going to learn network and I'm not going to learn servers, and I'm not, you know, you need to have that well-roundedness. So whenever times get lean, they're going to look at you and they're going to be like, well, this person's not just cybersecurity. They kind of know a little bit about this and that and everything else. That's going to make you more valuable as well. Still not recession proof, but
Be more of a Swiss Army knife instead of a spork.
yeah. All right. Well, that was an exciting episode. We covered a lot of topics. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please come back next time for our next episode, and I think we're gonna start having guests on. So you don't want to miss that one. So I know, yeah, we're gonna invite other people to the table. It's gonna be weird in a good way. So stay tuned for that. But until next time, I'm Jason.
This has been
Jonathan.
And Tony.
Bye, everybody.
Whoa.
Bye.
Bye.